It's been 50 years since this game-changing declaration.
It is a judgment of the committee that cigarette smoking contributes substantially to mortality from certain specific diseases and to the overall death rate.
Since that warning from the Surgeon General, a Yale study says 8 million lives have been saved through anti-smoking measures. The number of smokers in the U.S. is the lowest it's ever been, but that's not good news for tobacco companies. So, as WGBH News reporter Gail Huff shows us, they're coming up with new products and new marketing strategies to target non-smokers, especially young ones.
Joe Camel, shown in exciting places doing cool and rebellious things, has been a target of anti-smoking critics for 2 decades. They accuse Camel maker R.J. Reynolds of deliberately targeting young consumers with cartoon images, trying to get them hooked early on cigarettes. C-A-M-E-L. But smoking is so old school. In Camel's new advertising campaign, the Camel brand is encouraging Generation Y to go smoke-free. That is, use snus, a smokeless tobacco product from Sweden that comes in a packet. You pop it into your mouth, and the flavored tobacco juice can be swallowed. No chewing, no spitting, no smoke. And that's the sales pitch. It's undetectable. No more stepping out or getting kicked out of your favorite restaurant or your office when you need that nicotine fix.
It's addictive. It's deadly, but they're trying to tell you never miss a beat, don't miss out. You're not going to be outside the bar when, the funny joke goes down.
Camel's new Never Miss a Beat campaign features this colorful fold-out being sent in the mail directly to young adults. A non-smoking woman who recently graduated from college received this one. Her name, her address, labeled right to her. Even the coupons have her name on them.
Wow. They need new blood. And I think they're trying to find another way to make it look cool and to get kids to think, oh, it's not that bad for me.
Packaged to look like candy or mints, snus comes in 6 flavors. But Harvell says don't be fooled.
You're still consuming quite a bit of carcinogens, nicotine, other addictive chemicals. If you use products like this, you are 400 times more likely to develop oral cancer than someone who does not use smokeless tobacco.
So how does Camel get the names and addresses of young people to target in this direct mail campaign?
Perhaps they did buy a list from somebody else or rented it, or she might have even thought she was signing up for something else and ended up on this list. They're definitely always trying to cultivate more users.
Where there's a will, there is a way, no doubt. And social media is also opening up all sorts of avenues. Interestingly, Emily, this came to a resident in Massachusetts, but it says right on it the coupons can't even be used here in Massachusetts. So if you're going to use this, you have to go over the border.
They can be used other places.
In other places.
As we all know, cigarettes can't advertise on television, on billboards. But this, I have to say, is one of the more elaborate, and frankly, this thing is kind of cute. It's endearing. It looks like Tic Tacs or something like that.
Intentionally. So the mother finds this in the kid's backpack. They say, what's that? Oh, those are some mints. Never mind. Whatever. It's very clever. Very clever.
And elaborate, I must say. Probably going to be effective. All right. Thanks, Gail. Appreciate that. All right. So now, how are anti-smoking advocates responding to these new marketing strategies? Mark Heimovitz is the Director of Government Relations and Advocacy for the Massachusetts branch of the American Cancer Society. Welcome to Greater Boston, Mark.
Thank you.
So you have some other show and tell items there.
Yeah.
Are they as clever as this stuff?
Clever, I guess, is a great word. It's just other products that the tobacco industry is using to try to hook kids on these products.
Are they smokeless as well?
These are not smokeless. These are actually flavored cigars. We've got a pineapple flavored, peach flavored, sour apple, and there's not too many adults that I know that would be smoking these things. And the colors are clearly targeting kids.
Had you ever seen this campaign thing that we just...
I hadn't seen this exact campaign, but it's consistent with the tobacco industry has been doing for years. And like Gail said, you can't even use these coupons here in Massachusetts, but just the mailer itself, colorful, very attention-drawing, just that alone is great for the industry to market to kids.
It's not a postcard. This had to have cost some money to produce as well.
That's right. And the tobacco industry isn't too concerned about money when it comes to advertising. They spend about $8.8 billion a year on tobacco advertising and marketing. Unfortunately, here in Massachusetts, at least, we only spend $3.9 million on counter marketing tactics to try to educate kids on the dangers of these products.
All right, I'm going to bring another voice into this discussion. Bruce McMeekin is the president of BKM Marketing and an expert on direct marketing campaigns. Thanks for joining us, Bruce.
Glad to be here.
Is this going to be an effective marketing campaign, in your opinion?
Well, it's not one I think we would have recommended to put together, simply because direct marketing, when you get right down to it, is really all about using data to put together an offer that appeals to a specific audience, see if it works. If it doesn't work, you try a different tactic. This definitely looks like a test, but this is a different type of marketing because you're really trying to go up against some rules that are very difficult to overcome. I mean, financial services companies have similar challenges in terms of abiding by regulations as they begin to market credit products and things to new targets. This is a situation, though, where I can see why I think it's RJR that is behind this.
It is.
Would try this tactic simply because this is a very difficult generation to reach. They're very mobile. Odds are whoever receives this piece of mail may only be at that address in early 20s.
Well, interestingly, this came to a colleague's daughter, and she no longer lives at home, because I guess they have to target people over 21. So
right.
They're looking for people who are young adults, and maybe have just graduated college and haven't gone out on their own yet. So it's.
They clearly, legally, they have to target folks who are over the age of 18, actually. But we know that 90% of smokers, regular smokers, started at or before the age of 18. The tobacco industry knows that. They know that their customers, if they use their products as directed, will get sick and will die. So they need to replace those customers, and that's actually what they call our kids, is replacement customers.
So the FDA has been after the smoking industry for decades, and they've come up with all kinds of graphic solutions and warnings and this kind of thing. And we have a couple of pictures of ones that were actually shown, but the more revolting ones never made the cut. But I mean, people have responded to this kind of marketing as well. Young people aren't smoking in the same kind of numbers that they used to.
That's correct, and it is effective. But like a lot of other regulations that the government tries to put in place against tobacco to regulate it, the tobacco industry fights it in court, and they've got deep pockets, and they fight it for years in court, just like these new ads that you're talking about. They were supposed to be put on cigarette packs already, but it was fought in court, and unfortunately the tobacco industry won.
Would this, Bruce, be as lucrative for the tobacco industry as cigarettes? I mean, these things, I don't know what the prices of those are or this exactly, but cigarettes are, what, $10 a pack now?
Personally, I wouldn't know, but Mark was mentioning, I think this pack here is of whatever this product's called. Snooze is about a $10 price point.
Oh, so it's about the same as a pack of cigarettes.
It is now, and from 2008, when the legislature in Massachusetts increased the tax on cigarettes, the tax on these products were not increased, so they were significantly lower, and we saw kids moving towards these products because they were cheaper and kids are price sensitive. This past year, the legislature increased the tax again on cigarettes, but they also increased the tax on these products, what's called other tobacco products, non-cigarette products, and it's now taxed. These products are now taxed at the highest rate in the nation. So
listen,
that will have an impact.
It's still a legal product, and when we do all this hand-wringing over marketing, they're in the business of selling their product to people. I mean, is this ever going to be a banned substance like some other things? I mean, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't think it will become a banned product so long as there's a demand for it and there's lobbies in place that will actually promote its legality, if you will. When you look at the profit potential here and you look at how much information is put together in an integrated campaign, we're talking about a direct mail piece right now, but there's a lot more marketing muscle behind that may not be quite as well targeted, and you need to take a good look at social media. You need to take a real good look at how current customers are cross-marketed in other packages that RGR might be promoting. And but I would have to agree this is probably going to be around for as long as
certainly as long as we're on.
the FDA
Should it be a
lets
banned substance quickly?
No, but we should invest in tobacco control to counter the marketing.
All right. Mark Heimovitz and Bruce McMeekin, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.